Can you guys hear us?
We can hear you.
Well, it's going to give light on your faces. That's why, too. Sorry.
Thinking like a PO.
Yeah, so. I mean, I didn't think I could get y'all in if I was doing all three of you.
Let me get Will here and a lighting for us.
Yes, please. I thought you had one of those selfie lights.
No, Jackie does though. At least you guys look. Yes, you guys look professional. I'm trying to give the impression I've been here working.
It's a Padres fan.
Can I
Looks
say,
like Y'all ready, City of Asheville?
So good.
Yes, we're ready.
Chief, we got fire chief, the police chief, and Ben Woody, assistant city manager.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Who am I handing off to?
You are gonna hand it off to Nathan. Nathan's gonna hand it off to Ryan Cole. Ryan Cole's gonna hand it off to City of Asheville. City of Asheville will turn it back over to the chaplain to close us out. Does that sound good to y'all? Copy that, City of Asheville?
Who would see? Who am I gonna hand it to see?
Yeah.
So do you want all three of
Going
them to talk first, Stace?
What's that?
Do you want all three of them to speak before they hand it back off to you?
Yes, Avril says yes.
Okay.
And what order will y'all be? I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter, but
I'll just say see.
City of Asheville.
Yeah.
Okay, we got Chief.
I'll have each of them introduce them.
And what is let's see, is Ben, you're the water, what is Ben, what is your title?
Assistant city manager.
Oh, gosh, I'm so sorry.
It's all good. It's been a long day.
It's been a long day.
We're gonna talk about the water system.
Okay, fantastic.
I just want to wash my hands.
Okay. Oh my God, me too. I just wanna-
I think I have cords.
About to go live. Stand by.
Hello, can you all hear me?
We can hear you, Stace.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started with the September 28th, 4 p.m. media briefing on the impacts of Hurricane Helene here in Buncombe County. We have representatives from Buncombe County government and City of Asheville here today with us to provide some updates from their perspective, respective parts of the operation. Today we have County Manager Avril Pender. We have Public Health Preparedness Coordinator Nathan Green. We have Assistant Emergency Services Director Ryan Cole. We have Chaplain Winston Parrish with us today. We also have City of Asheville reps. We have Asheville Police Department Chief Lamb, Chief Case, Asheville Fire Chief, and we also have Ben Woody, Assistant City Manager, with us to provide updates on water operations. With that, we will get started with remarks from County Manager Alvin Pember.
Thank you, Stacy. Good afternoon. We are now more than 72 hours into this disaster, and our emergency crews have been working nonstop. As we assess the damage, this is looking to be Buncombe County's own Hurricane Katrina. Buncombe County government regular operations will be closed on Monday and Tuesday, regular operations, to focus on emergency response. Our landfill will be open Monday, but anyone traveling to the landfill must take caution. Alternate routes will be required as Highway 251 has been compromised. Unfortunately, our transfer station at Hominy Creek has been compromised and will be closed until further notice. We are working with Wasteboro to determine what residential collection will look like, but we don't have any information about that at this time. We are working on water distribution sites for the public, and as soon as we receive water and more information, we will announce those sites for you. We expect to have that up and running by tomorrow. If any of our employees see this and you have not yet let us know you are safe, please contact your supervisor if you can. We have more than 1,500 employees in Buncombe County, and like so many others, we have not been able to check to confirm their well-being. The Buncombe County Register of Deeds has developed a web-based form to assist people in finding and connecting with residents of Buncombe County. Anyone inside or outside of Buncombe County can use this resource to let the county know about someone who they think is missing or who cannot be reached. If you're looking for a loved one, you can use the link that we will post in the chat to enter their information. We would also post it on our website and all social media channels. We do ask that if you locate your loved ones, you email buncombesearch@gmail.com. That is buncombesearch@gmail.com. And let us know so we can update our records. Flooding continues in Buncombe County. The dangers in our community are not over. We continue to be without water for most, without power, and without cell service. With that, I'll turn it over to Nathan Green, our Health Preparedness Officer.
Thank you. Buncombe County is opening 2 additional shelters at the AB Tech Asheville campus. As Avril said, we are 72 hours into an incredibly difficult disaster. This additional shelter should relieve the shelter location at the WNC Ag Center and add much needed capacity for shelter operations. These shelters will provide a safe place to stay for individuals who have been displaced by Hurricane Helene. The 2 new shelters are located at AB Tech in the following locations. The overnight emergency shelter for general population is located at the AB Tech Conference Center at 16 Ferniehurst Drive in Asheville. Please use the Victoria Road entrance. The medical emergency shelter for individuals that are dependent on medical equipment requiring power is located at 10 Genevieve Circle in Asheville, North Carolina. When you come to a shelter, you're welcome to bring special items for children like food, formula, diapers, extra clothing, toys, and so on, prescription medications, and medical devices that you may need. Comfort items like pillows, blankets, towels, change of clothing, or other items you may want with you at a shelter for comfort. People that need emergency shelter with pets need to go to the WNC Ag Center emergency shelter. We're standing up a family assistance center to help people find friends and family who might have been affected by this disaster. The Buncombe County Register of Deeds will lead this effort. Please call 828-820-2761. Again, that's 828-820-2761. listen, and then leave a voicemail. You can also find a link to the number and the request form and more information at buncombeready.org.
Could you repeat the number again, please?
Again, that number is 828-820-2761 for the Family Assistance Center. Now I'll turn it over to Assistant Director Ryan Cole.
Good afternoon. We are continuing our emergency response, and as we continue our emergency response, we have a lot of incidents that are still going on that's related to the hurricane. However, we also have a lot of incidents that's going on that's unrelated. And so our call volume is extremely high from both sides of that. And so please be aware, there's a lot of emergency vehicles that's traveling the roadways. And you'll also see a lot of escorts of the Highway Patrol that is trying to get needed supplies here into the areas and needed resource. So please make sure that you're heeding to be able to get those in. Also, please do not drive unless you have to. Please stay at home so that we can get these resources in. We now have Interstate 26 open to South Carolina. And with that, we're able to utilize that for resources to be able to get those in. All other access points from I-40 going over Old Fort Mountain, I-40 through the gorge, and I-26 going to Tennessee will remain closed for an extended period of time due to the damage. So please allow us to get those resources in to assist you by staying home and staying safe. As Ms. Pender stated, crews have now been working for 72 hours, many of those with very little rest and very little sleep. And we appreciate all of their effort and their work. And we appreciate your patience with us as we try to get to every single call and take care of all of your needs. Be sure that you're only calling 911 for true emergencies and not for information. Make sure that whenever you call, you're very specific with your needs and you're able to do that. Also, utilize the text feature to text 911, as many times cell phone service may not work. However, texting does, and it will be answered just as fast, and communication can be both ways. Swiftwater rescues are still occurring throughout the county. And we have exceeded over 150 rescues that are going on. We continue to deal with the flooding, and as we see that some of the rivers are receding, we are still having devastating landslides that are going on today, because as the ground is saturated, sometimes those slides do not occur while it's raining. We need everyone to be extremely aware, and if they feel the ground moving or see any kind of sloughing of the ground, please get out of the house and get away from the house, and so that do not become trapped in the slide. Whenever we look at this and we say that we've experienced catastrophic, and you've heard us say catastrophic devastation within our county. I would go a little bit further and say we have biblical devastation through the county. We've had biblical flooding here, and it has been extremely significant. I'd like to give you some good news. We now can tell you that we are starting to see increasing power restoration throughout the county. And we now have less than 100,000 people without power. We hope that your house is next to have power restored, but please, again, be patient with that restoration, as it's taking a very extended amount of time to reach some of these areas and get into it. We have requested additional resources from the state And they are requesting additional resources from the federal government as well. And a lot of those resources are hopefully starting to come in and into the county. But again, remember, right now we only have one access point coming into us, which is I-26 coming from South Carolina. Now I will turn it over to the city of Asheville for their report.
Thank you and good evening. I am Ben Woody, an assistant city manager with the city of Asheville, and I'm going to provide a brief update on the Asheville water system. We were able to preliminarily assess on Saturday morning the water system, which revealed that Tropical Storm Helene severely damaged the city of Asheville's water system. This means that extensive repairs are required to restore our water system. Water Resources Department has already engaged government and private sector partners to begin the procurement process for additional materials, equipment, and personnel. System assessment is ongoing and will continue as floodwaters recede. For customers who have water service, we want to remind you that a boil water advisory is in place. And what that means is you need to boil your water vigorously for at least 1 minute before it is safe to be used for drinking water. Helene, as was referenced early, was a generational weather event. Although providing an accurate timeline is impossible, I want to be clear that service restoration will be an extended effort. We are grateful for your patience while we dedicate every possible resource to reconstructing the damaged portions of our water system. After that, I'll turn it over to Chief Case.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Michael Case. I'm the fire chief here in the city of Asheville. I want to give you just an update on the efforts we've done so far and ongoing in the realm of search and rescue within the city. We are still considered in the search and rescue mode. We have not transitioned out of that mode yet, and we continue to do operations for 24 hours at a time. We'll be working overnight as we have been the last 3 nights. Remember, many of the rescuers here are residents in the region, and they are affected by the exact same difficulties that they're trying to help with other people. We have multiple partners assisting with us. We have partners from the state and the federal government. We have FEMA search and rescue teams here. We have search dogs from around the state. And we have many water and land-based rescue teams from around the state as well. We have many challenges, as you're all well aware of. Most of those center around communications issues back and forth, movement around the county to the different rescue sites that are required, and a significant amount of damaged infrastructure. These are all compounded by the cascading events that these things bring with them, including, in some cases, the mental welfare of our responders as well. I want you to know that our operations are managed by a dedicated internal team of City of Asheville employees and outside subject matter experts. Our department directors are working directly with each other to find the answers to the issues that we are being faced with. We have many SMEs, subject matter experts, helping us with some of the more complicated matters. We look forward as a city, as a fire department, as our search and rescuers, to find a successful mitigation to this incident. And that's all I have. I turn it at this point over to Police Chief Michael Lamb.
Hey, Mike Lamb, Chief of Police for the Asheville Police Department. And just first thing I want to start off with is that we're conducting a lot of welfare checks. You know, we know a lot of folks are calling in. They want to know how family members are. You know, for those that are not aware, we have no cell service in the region. So a lot of folks, that's the only way of communication. So we just ask that you please be patient with us. We have extra staffing and we have extra resources that are helping us with search and rescue right now. We're also going home to home in different locations and doing welfare checks. But because of the volume of calls that we're getting, not only for welfare checks, but for alarms and for looting that we are currently experiencing in the city of Asheville, our officers are kind of spread thin. So just be patient with us and we will get back to you as soon as possible with the status of friends and family that are out there. So understand that we're doing the best we can to try to get those welfare checks in. In regards to the looting, we have made a few arrests within those. There was looting also overnight. So if you see something, say something. You know, we do have some cell providers that are offering service, and we are having people that are able to call 911 whenever they see some type of event. please look out for each other. Watch out for your neighbors. Check on elderly neighbors. If you're out driving, which like Ryan Cole said, I encourage you not to be out and drive unless you absolutely have to, because we have had traffic collisions. And it's a dangerous environment, especially when there's limited traffic signals that are working with the limited power that's coming back on. Also remember, if you're out driving, that if the traffic signal's out, it becomes a four-way stop at that point. Don't just barrel through the intersection. Please be mindful of each other, be mindful of cross intersections. And it does become a four-way stop. So it's just like a four-way stop sign. We have a lot of dedicated staff that's working out there right now. We have extra staffing in with the police department, and we thankfully have extra resources that are here from the state of North Carolina. We have some wonderful partners, other law enforcement agencies across the state that are here helping us, and more that are coming in. We've got federal law enforcement agencies that are also coming in to help us guard water distribution sites and also food distribution areas. So again, thank you very much. Please be patient with each other. Please check on your neighbors. We have some really wonderful citizens out there that are just lending a hand, cutting trees, clearing roadways. We have a great community. So just please be helpful, watch out for each other, and be safe out there. I'll pass it back over to Buncombe County.
My name's Winston Parrish. I'm the senior pastor at Trinity Baptist Church in Asheville. I'm also the chaplain for the Buncombe County Sheriff's Department. And today, as you heard from Assistant Director Cole, this is a biblical disaster, a biblical proportion. It is a catastrophic event, but now we're sad to report it is a fatal event. Our emergency crews are not just conducting rescues at this time, but they are also recovering people who have perished in this tragedy. We know that this is just the beginning of what has been and continue to be an awful and devastating natural disaster. But we cannot confirm the identities of those individuals at this time. We are still waiting to communicate with next of kin. And we can confirm this: they are our friends, they are our neighbors, and they are our loved ones. And no doubt for all of us, this is a sad moment for us to just take in a deep breath and realize that not only is there infrastructure that has been lost, but now there are lives that have been lost here in Buncombe County. This is a time for our county to come together, and we have to give our emergency personnel the respect that they need in this time to work. As you heard, we have to stay off the roads, and that's something that all of our community can respond to, that unless we absolutely have to get out, that we stay home and stay off the roads. It's a time for us to pray. If you are a praying person, this is the time to pray. You should pray for those that are in the shelter who have either lost a home or who are unable to go to their home. Pray for those who have lost friends and family, and then pray for the emergency responders that are working. Many of them have been awake for 24, 48, some of them 72 hours with just a few naps in between these rescues. And so we need to pray for them. And no doubt this is a time for us to come together as a community. And we must do everything that we can in our power to listen, to heed to the warnings. And we're still in a very difficult time. This is not the time for us to try to process everything. We have to process it day by day. And no doubt there will come a time where we will mourn those that are lost. And we'll keep you updated on more information with these folks that have lost their lives as it becomes available.
Thank you, Chaplain Parrish. At this point, we will open the briefing up to questions from members of the media. You can either unmute yourself or you can type your question in the chat.
Hey guys, Justin Berger, WLOS. We have a few follow-up questions. Said there are fatalities. Can we get a number of fatalities in the county? And a lot of people calling into the station, those that have cell service, like you said, can't reach loved ones. Do we have an estimation from our cell providers about when people can expect to get their service back? Also, just while I'm unmuted, You said national resources. Has the National Guard been deployed to the county? I know that's a lot, but those are my questions.
Thank you, Justin. I'll take care of your questions for you. With that, I'm going to work backwards. National Guard, yes, National Guard has been here since the beginning with vehicles that can travel through high water. We have requested additional National Guard personnel to assist us in many different ways. Both for Buncombe County and City of Asheville to be able to get in here with that. We have utilized even local National Guard that are based right here. Also, the next question I'll go back to is the cell phone providers. With the cell phone providers, I have spoken directly with a couple of those providers who are trying to get additional resources in here that we might be able to utilize and set up some. One of the things we're looking to do is even set up some locations where people might be able to go and call loved ones until we can get that restored. So we have a lot of things that we're trying to do to take care of our community and get that communication in there. And there's more to come on that once we get that solidified. But with the cell phone providers, they did say that it's going to be several days before they're able to get that, and maybe even longer and again, not providing us with a definitive time when they could get that back up. But just as we are experiencing difficult and getting to our radio towers because of downed trees and eroded banks, they are having that issue as well. But they are working to that, and I will tell you they've got a lot of resources that are coming through the region to try to get that restored. As far as the first question on the fatalities, at this time the Sheriff's Department is working on compiling a count for that. And as we move forward, we will try to have that information for the briefing from the Sheriff's Department as we move forward.
So, and I know I didn't say off the top, I appreciate what you guys are doing. Are we safe to say several, multiple? What phrasing would be appropriate?
I would feel comfortable at this point in time to say that we have multiple fatalities.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Hi, this is Isaac Stanley Becker with the Washington Post. Thanks very much to everyone for doing this, and I hope all of your families are safe. I'm wondering if someone can elaborate, perhaps Ryan Cole, on the transit situation. So you said that Interstate 26 is now back open to South Carolina, but other major roadways closed. Does that mean that that's now the only major thoroughfare into and out of this region? Can you just provide a little bit more detail on that?
Yes, so I-26 navigates east to west, and it goes east to west, but it actually travels north to south in our area. But it does come through, and I-40 goes east to west. Both of I-40 entrances coming into Buncombe County coming into Buncombe County is closed on Old Fort Mountain. It is also closed at the near the Tennessee state line on I-40. So you can get into western part of the state, but you cannot go beyond that to Tennessee. On I-26, it is open, as I stated, going east, which is into South Carolina. But it is not open going into Tennessee, as it is my understanding that they lost a significant amount of roadway on the Tennessee side. And so the North Carolina Highway Patrol and DOT are working at this time to have any traffic going towards Tennessee routed back around, and it comes back towards Asheville.
And I'm sorry if I could just follow up on one point. Are you saying that there also, these roads are impassable also to emergency vehicles or just to regular traffic in order to create room for emergency vehicles?
So they're all impassable to regular vehicles except for coming up Old Fort Mountain, coming I-40 from into Buncombe County, where there is only a very small portion of the road that is passable until they're able to evaluate any kind of the structural integrity of the road. And so we have been able to get emergency vehicles up that, but we are also doing that very cautiously. And with an escort, with the highway patrol and through barricades.
Thank you.
There's a question in the chat. What shelters are currently open? Are the AV Tech shelters open now? What is their capacity and how many people are sheltering at area shelters now?
Yes, thank you. We have 2 shelters currently open. The shelter at the WNC Ag Center is currently at capacity. The AV Tech shelter is now taking general population individuals that need sheltering. Again, we are at capacity at the WNC Ag Center. However, we do ask that if you have pets that you want sheltered with you, you go to the WNC Ag Center and we will make arrangements for that.
Do we know how many is at AB Tech?
At AB Tech, we've just opened up and we are transferring about 70 individuals to AB Tech right now. It can hold about 300 to 500. As an estimate, we don't know the exact dimensions, and we can give you further on that at the next briefing.
You're at the Ag Center now.
We have roughly 400 at the Ag Center right now.
Let's see. Where are food and water being distributed and when? Has there been any aid distribution to this point?
So currently, as we stated before, we have requested a lot of resources. Those resources include food and water. And with that, we have several tractor and trailer loads that have been requested to come into the area. Once we receive those, we will coordinate with the city of Asheville and setting up locations for distribution to where that we will have points of distribution for food and water in Buncombe County and city of Asheville and the surrounding communities to make sure that we get that out to everyone in the community as much as possible. The one thing that I will say with this is be mindful that what we will be able to give out to each household will be minimal. And as we do that, we'll try to spread that out across the board, and we will try to have multiple loads coming in and operate those shelters, or I'm sorry, those points of distribution each day. Once we get those set up and we can know that we have a sustained supply of food and water coming into the county.
But no, none has been done yet.
But none of those have been opened yet until we get the supplies in and we're able to get that going.
Will the city extend the curfew past Sunday morning?
Yes, so curfew is definitely in effect tonight till 7:30 p.m. from 7:30 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. and it will be extended. We're still having discussions as far as how many more nights. A lot of that's dependent on when power comes back on and cell service and phone service comes back on.
Question, when will the AB Tech Medical Shelter open? What are the hours for each? 24/7?
Our AB Tech Medical shelter is currently open, and we are transferring individuals that need power dependent durable medical equipment needs. Right now we have about 30 individuals in there, and we are in the process of receiving more equipment to take care of those needs.
Are there any updates on restoring cell service coverage? Are any temporary towers being set up?
So we already hit on restoring. Those providers are working on that throughout the region and trying to expedite that as much as possible. We have requested some portable cell towers. And once we get those, if we are able to get those set up at different locations, we will put that information out to people in the community so that we can ensure that they can come and make contact with their loved ones outside of the county.
Is there an updated estimate of the number of homes without power?
As stated previously, I don't have the exact number now, but we have dropped below 100,000. Yesterday, we were over 140,000. So we are seeing some great work from our utility partners to be able to significantly reduce the number of people without power.
Can people go to the AB Tech shelters directly without referrals?
Yes, if you're in need of sheltering, you may go directly to the shelter. There's plenty of parking, but please remember to bring any comfort items that you may need, because these shelters only do minimal comfort items.
Can I clarify that? Do they need anything when they go to the medical center? I think that question was going to be further, it was the medical.
The medical center. Yes, please bring any medical equipment that you need with you. We have limited supplies of medical equipment there until our partners get further equipment in.
Is there any estimate on individuals unaccounted for across Buncombe County, not fatalities, unaccounted for individuals?
With our issues with telecommunications, that is going to play a significant role in that, just because people are not able to communicate with them. And so that will hamper that. I think that will be related to the time frame of telecommunications being brought back up, will significantly enhance when we're able to know about individuals that may have not been able to be communicating previously. And so I would say that it would be in conjunction with the telecommunications occurring there.
And that is the reason we had, I'm sorry, that is the reason we asked the registrar's to stand up that registration, so we can start to get a handle on how many people can't find loved ones.
And within the city, we're currently running on a list of about 60 folks that we have unaccounted for. So as we get the requests in via email, via 911, via phone service, via phone calls, we're adding that to the list that we have and trying to conduct those welfare checks as quickly as possible.
Okay, we have time for one more question. Okay. Not seeing any in the chat, so that will conclude this briefing for today. We will be back again tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Via Facebook Live, and that's on our Facebook page at Buncombe Gov. Thank you for
Stacey.
joining us, and have a great day.